I've been having a lot of fun playing and streaming Arknights Endfield. A lot of people that I know, a lot of content creators that I know also have fun both playing and streaming Arknights Endfield, but not everybody likes it. And that's okay. Not everyone needs to. Not every game is for every person. In spite of whether or not you like or dislike the game, there is one undeniable truth, and that is that Arknights Endfield is actually doing very well for itself. What I'm going to do here is actually show you the revenue that Arknights Endfield has made since release just 6 days ago, and then I'm going to compare it against several other gacha game releases, big ones like Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero. That way, we can get a bit of a guesstimate as to how well the game is really doing financially by using actual public numbers. This way, anyone that is doom posting the game by saying that the game isn't doing very well financially or that there aren't really many people playing the game, well, then you'll have evidence to the contrary. Then you'll have real, concrete, tangible numbers to present to them. I also want to point out real quick before we dive in, Arknights Endfield over on the Google Play Store right now is sitting at 3.8 stars out of 5. This is actually a stark improvement. It was sitting at 3.2 stars just a couple days ago, moved up to 3.4, 3.6, and is now at 3.8 as of the last 12 hours. As I noted in my tweet, the game has its flaws, it's far from perfect, but this increase is an indicator of an increased public positive reception. I do want to preface this by stating that I don't want to use these numbers as an attack. I don't want to show, that these numbers are better than this game or worse than this game, and that we should use it to insult or belittle this game or another game. I don't want this to be used as a form of tribalism. I just want this to be used to kind of alleviate some of that misinformation or disinformation or hate that's just being targeted at Enfield. This is not here an attempt to convince you that the game is good or that the game is bad. I'm sure the game will stand on its own merits and will be disliked because people don't actually like the game. Comparing it to Wuthering Waves, WUA launched back on May 22nd, 2024. That means that there is about 8 days worth of revenue that we can pull from. Zenless Zone Zero was released on July 4th, 2024, which means you have over 3 weeks that you can pull from. That's quite a significant difference in terms of total number of days here that you can use to pull revenue from. But in May 2024, it looks like Wuthering Waves opened to 11 million globally and 13.8 million in China. It's a grand total of 24.8 million. We can round this up to about 25 million. That's really good given it was a week worth of revenue at best. The following month, this is June 2024, Wuthering Waves made cumulatively here 29 million. So month 1, 25 million, month 2, 29 million. That's about 37 days. So if you total 25 million and 29 million together, you get about 54 million. The next month, Zenless Zone Zero launched to $96 million. Both of these were actually incredible opening weeks, or incredible opening months rather. So the opening month for WUA was probably close to like late 30s, early 40 millions, and Zenless was almost 100. And it looks as though Wuthering Waves, using the Gacha Revenue website here, which uses and pulls from Sensor Tower, it looks as though Wuthering Waves continues to make an average of $20 million to $30 million per month. This is an incredible number. Absolutely fantastic. You can't really criticize them here or mock them in any way because it's a lot of money. Zenless Zone Zero looks like it makes about $15 to $20 million every single month as well. Well, for the last 6 months, it's been making about $10 to $15 million, but even so, that's still a lot of freaking money. Arknights Endfield, though, in its first 6 days. Now, I was forwarded this tweet, this Reddit thread over on Twitter. They were asking me to do a dedicated video on it in an attempt to combat that misinformation because this weird false narrative is being spread to push the agenda that the game is dying or the game is dead or the game is on terribly. And again, you don't have to like the game, but you don't also have to attack it with misinformation either. You can admit, hey, the game's doing good, it's not for me, and that's totally fine. Enfield Day 6 revenue according to Sensor Tower. You have global Android, Vietnam Android, or I think that's Vietnam, not entirely sure. Global iOS, Vietnam iOS, China iOS, China Android, totaling 21.78 million We can go ahead here and round that up to $22 million. That's actually incredible. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. In 6 days, this game actually made $22 million. Now, if we go back to Wuthering Waves here, because Wuwa had, what, about 8 days, 7-8 days of May to earn, how much did it earn? China, 14 million, global 25. So Wuwa made in 8 days, 25 million. Arknights Endfield in 6 days, so 2 days less, has made about 22 million. By this logic, by the amount of people that have been spending, we can kind of guesstimate here that it's probably going to reach about 24 million over the course of the next few days as well, which means at the bare minimum here, Arknights Endfield is going to total roughly the equivalent of Wuthering Waves opening month, or opening months rather, which is incredible, given Wuthering Waves is continuously one of the highest grossing gacha games in the world. And while Zenless had a much higher number overall, they've also declined more than Wuthering Waves and multiple other gacha games. And if we use Zenless's current revenue, then this is doing better than Zenless. Regardless of how you tackle this, how you perceive this information, there is no denying the fact that Arknights Endfield right now is doing really well. It continued to rank in the top 10 repeatedly in Japan, in China. I don't think in South Korea though, for the first several days of release, and now continues to stay in the top 20, even though there's still only Levitain currently available as a character. It continues to be the #2 gacha game in the App Store, in the top 200, directly under Fate Grand Order and above Blue Archive and Uma Musume and Genshin Impact over here. There's Uma Musume there. In China, the game has been above Genshin Impact for multiple days ever since it released. It's been above Love and Deep Space, Zenless, Wuwa, Infinity Nikki, Honkai Star Rail. It's been repeatedly in the top 10 to top 20 since launch day. In Japan, it looks like it was the #1, and then continued to be in the top, what, 10, 20 as well, top 15, 16 every single day since launch day. Then you have to factor in, this game is also available on PC and console. Like Wuthering Waves, a lot of the player base actually play on PC. With this in mind, you could go ahead and say here that Arknights Endfield probably made at least double what it made on mobile on PC, and then the equivalent of what it made on mobile on console. So 22 million on mobile, you're probably looking at about 40 to 45 million on PC, and then about 20 million on console as well. So grand total, probably about 90 to 100 million dollars has been accumulated from Arknights Endfield in its launch 6 days. By day 7, you're looking at several $1,000,000 more. By the end of day 10, the first third of the month, you're probably looking at about 120 million. By the end of the month, you're probably looking at least 30 to, well, the end of the month is technically in just a couple days from now, but we're looking at a minimum of over $20 million tracked on the Gacha Revenue website, which I know some people are going to look at and be like, her game only made 20-something million dollars, absolute and critical failure. They're going to use that to push an agenda, but the fact remains this game is going to make over $100 million in its first opening, like, 8 days of release, 9 days of release, which is incredible. This game is doing very good financially. And again, you don't need to like the game. You really don't. Not everyone likes every game. It's fine to not enjoy aspects of it. You might dislike the gacha, you might dislike the story, you might dislike the voice acting, you might dislike the story. It's all fine. Not every game is for every person, but there's one thing you cannot deny, and that is that it has made a lot of money and is doing very well. And it doesn't matter how much you want that to be true, how much you want them to fail. The fact remains right now, as of the 28th of January, 2026, they're just not. Maybe 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, sure. But right now, no, they're not. And anyone that tells you they are, they're just lying to you. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.